It's time for Taste Appeal. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and if you're looking for a dish that's romantic and doesn't take a lot of time, look no further.
Look no further, because Chef Bill Collins is here, and he's going to show us how to make scallop piccata.
Hey, Chef Bill.
Hello, it's great to be here.
Welcome back.
Good to have you
Thank
here.
you very much.
Now we're making scallop or scallop?
Well, it depends
Scallop.
where you're from.
Scallop or
Scallop.
scallop?
If you're from the Boss area, it's scallop.
I can't say
It's
it.
about that hard or that soft A.
That's exactly it.
But
Yep.
you know, which way is it in Western Mass? You're saying there's a specific way.
Scallop.
Scallop. All right, we're making scallops.
Scallops.
Yum. Now, Valentine's Day is on a weeknight this year.
It is, so you either have to plan ahead and do a lot of prep and a lot of cooking days leading up to it, or you can make a faster, easier meal.
Yes.
Which I think we might be doing today.
Good.
That's perfect.
Funny you should mention scallops, because that's what we've got here today.
Because you should mention it.
Seafood cooks quickly. Chicken, might be half hour more. Seafood, scallops will be cooking literally in a matter of minutes. And so that we can get the meal underway. If you're doing rice, as I've done there, that can be 20 minutes. The scallops, I'm going to show you, cook so quickly. And you don't have to cook them like chicken. Just literally 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes. You're done and on the table. It's not fast.
You have a bunch of great tips, too. When you put them on, we were talking about this earlier, actually. You want to dry the meat or the seafood off.
You do, because what's going to happen is you're going to get the sizzling, you're going to start steaming, and you won't get a nice sear on it. It's not the end of the world, but it gives a nice little bit of a crunch in the outside, and it looks nice, and if you remember to do it, it's a great way to go, and I highly recommend doing it.
All right, well, let's get started.
So what we have here is a very hot pan, and again, the way to check the pan, rather than put the oil in, see a little bit of schmutz steaming from the side of there. Don't want to cause a whole hullabaloo with this, but what you want to do is just warm it up nicely. And so with this hot, just a little bit, that smoke is actually just coming from the burner.
Okay.
Is I like to check the burner like that. You hear a nice sizzle going, as opposed to just putting the oil in and hoping that it's ready. So this is nice and ready, so I'm going to just put some canola oil in. Not olive oil, because we're cooking on a high temperature here, that'll tend to burn more quickly.
Oh,
So
okay.
this way, I'm just going to drop these on.
What about butter? How is that? Is that a higher cooking temperature or lower cooking temperature than oil?
Well, butter is going to be higher than olive oil. What's going to happen is your butter, if it's a little bit too hot, will turn brown. Not a bad thing. That doesn't mean it's burning. It's turning brown.
Does it change the taste, though, when it turns brown?
No, it'll keep it nice, but if you keep it on, it's something they call noisette. French for hazelnut, as we all know.
Of course.
And but by doing that, you sometimes do want to get that browner butter. So, but in this case, if you're going to scallops or not, you're fine to go with just that. So now we've got them on, and you can smell already because the fragrance is coming up, and just a little salt and pepper on here.
And you salt and pepper in the pan?
You do salt and pepper in the pan. You can do a little bit beforehand. I like to just give a little bit in the pan. Works out just fine.
Now, you're cooking in a cast iron pan, but you could really use any kind of pan, would you say, or is this a good pan to cook with?
I prefer cast iron more often than not because you get a great sear on it. Not everybody has a cast iron. Believe it or not, cast iron are the cheapest pans in the world. They need just a little bit of maintenance, but they're going to last you forever. And they do give you a nicer sear, but if you use a regular, nice quality pan as opposed to something really, thin and inexpensive, you also get a good sear.
Okay.
The secret is having the pan hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
If it's just a little bit warm or coolish, you're not going to get the searing on it.
And also your fish has to be dry, too.
Exactly.
Had it dry.
So now, I'm going to move all of these around, and you see how we've got that nice browning?
Oh, perfect.
And that is really just a couple of minutes.
Now, you're trying to flip them and not just switch them, or can you just kind of stir it up?
Well, you can stir it up, but you do want them flipped over. See, usually I like to use tongs, but I've got my tongs about 6 feet over there, so I'm using this. This is what we call improvising on live TV.
When life gives you lemons, you make a spatula instead of
That's
tongs.
what makes a great chef, though. You work with what you got, and you make it happen, and it's not going to change the flavor.
Exactly, no, it comes out beautifully. So now, I'm going to tell you a hint for at home. It doesn't matter because we're on an electric burner here, but if this were a gas burner, I would take, because it's cast iron, I would take my towel, because I'm about to pour some wine in, and I'm going to take this away from, I'm going to take this away from here and pour it on, because since it's a shallow pan, we're going to get a sizzle.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you
Nice
hear that
hot,
sizzle?
too. Yep.
And what can happen is you might have a little flare-up from the alcohol. And so a lot of people are not prepared for that. And so this way, just play it safe, pull it off the burner, and it'll go just fine.
Okay.
So now I'm going to put in some lemon zest.
All right.
How do you know how much to put in there?
This is going to sound
much?
awfully, I'm a sucker for lemon zest because it's not the lemon juice, which can be awfully bitter. I don't think you can put too much in.
Okay.
And so if you go with the whole lemon or most of the lemon, you're going to be just fine.
All right.
Then you can use that lemon later.
Exactly, and I'm about to.
Good.
Because you read the recipe.
I did my homework, Bill.
So now what I'm going to do is to get some lemon juice. Sorry to reach across here.
No problem.
This is the best $10 toy in the history of the world.
I have yet to get one of those.
You know,
I need to get one.
It's counterintuitive because it looks like, oh, just put it in the shaper there and that drops in that way. Nope, because the juice is coming out the bottom. What's going to happen is, look how, notice the roundish lemon in my hand. But I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to put the lemon juice in.
Oh, wow, it's like a lemony wine sauce.
Well, exactly,
That's good.
and no matter how much you squeeze, use other tools, you're not going to get as much out of it as with that tool. The last thing I'm going to put on are capers. These are dried flower buds, but they're put in a brine. And so if you just eat a caper, feel free to do so, but I wouldn't. It's a bitter, biting. Do it, Seth.
Yep, I just,
really?
I'm going to be the guinea pig.
It's bitter and biting, and you go, well, gee,
dropped it.
that's not all that good, but it adds to the flavor, the whole flavor that you got going on there.
It's not good alone.
Not good alone.
Not good on its own.
It's sort of like, if you were to take a spoonful of flour, you wouldn't eat that, but you love bread. So it's just,
yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Exactly, it's a component of the recipe. Now, these scallops are done. It was that quick.
There you go.
So I'm going to reach under here for a spoon.
Smells amazing.
And we're going to plate it with some vegetables, and we're going to plate it with some rice and peppers.
Exactly, and I'm just going to flip this up here, because I didn't have a spoon, so improvising with an ice cream scoop.
Love it.
Wait, that's going to come in handy later on, right?
Uh-oh.
The ice cream scoop?
Yes, I happen to have another one.
Perfect. Well,
So we'll be back
stay
with you in
tuned.
just a bit, Chef Bill.
yes, because later we're going to turn chocolate into luscious hot fudge sauce for your ice cream.
You don't want to miss that.
Welcome back to Mass Appeal, and we are back in the kitchen with Chef Bill Collins.
So earlier we made scallop piccata. We're still working on it. It's just about done. Now
Almost
we're going to
done.
make an
It's
easy
all done.
hot fudge sauce for
Easy
your
hot-
ice cream.
Easy hot fudge sauce. It's the easiest thing in the world. Take a little heavy cream or whipping cream. You can use those actually interchangeably, because when you see them in the supermarket, if you only have one, if you're looking for the other, you can switch them. It's just a matter of a little bit of fat content. Light syrup, like the Cairo corn syrup you see all over the place. It's not high fructose corn syrup. Don't be afraid of it.
Okay.
It's perfectly good. Just bring it to a simmer, which I've done right here, and then I've combined both bittersweet and semi-sweet chocolate. Just a matter how much chocolate liquor, which is not alcohol, how much chocolate liquor is in there. That's just the light and the darker chocolates.
Huh.
And
is that the percentage when you see a dark chocolate? Maybe it's 65, 70%?
It's all part of the cacao, the cocoa. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cacao, yeah.
So now all we're gonna do is put this in here and melt it.
You know, I've got to say, if you were coming over for my Valentine's Day, this would be pretty impressive.
Oh, absolutely, because the thing is, again, if it's a weeknight thing, you can bake, and believe me, you can bake a day ahead, but if you make this straight away, and see how well that's coming together, because it's just
So quick.
It's just the chocolate is melting in the hot liquid.
This is a whole lot easier than I thought it would be.
Oh, it's amazing.
It doesn't have to be a hullabaloo. It
No.
can be
It
easy.
doesn't. And
Does it?
no, it doesn't. And actually, you can do it with the whisk, and look how that's coming together. And now, that's all it is, hot fudge.
Oh
And
my
Wow.
gosh.
Okay, that was faster than I thought.
I'm kind of mad that you showed me how to do this, Bill.
Oh, I'm
this is no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Now I'm going to make this every
You
night.
just
It's
contributed.
so easy.
You just contributed to the end of Ashley's waistline. I hope you're happy.
Yes, yes.
Well, maybe you can
exactly.
say now hot fudge is for breakfast now. So
Oh, yes,
That's true.
exactly.
So really, that's all it is. We now have hot fudge.
Oh my
So I'm
goodness.
going to turn that
Talk
off.
about easy, huh?
Yep.
And Seth is just plating up those. I don't want
savory
to say
scallops?
it right. Scallops.
Savory scallops.
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 You must have been
Did I
to
say it?
Eastern Mass. You said
I
it
must have
perfectly.
been. See, I worked on it. Okay, so now this is done. Then all you pretty much do is just put it right on top of your ice cream.
some ice
Sure,
cream?
you can pour it right into the pint, or if you wanted
we'll
to present
we'll make it pretty. We got it. This is
yeah.
Valentine's Day.
It's
all about the
Valentine's Day.
It's all about
Exactly.
class.
Exactly.
You gotta romance them. You can't just slop it on a plate.
You know that's so romantic, Seth.
Yeah, coming from a married man.
Well, you know, it's that's it exactly. So
And there's I don't know if we have time to show everybody how incredible this is, but we've got some whipped cream here that you're whipping up right now, right?
I just started doing that, and that takes, believe it or not, if you were to do it by hand, which I was just starting to do, that will go much faster than, actually, if you put that in, we're going to have a little darker.
A little mocha whipped cream?
Put it in there,
All right.
darker. Believe it or not, it's just as fast when you really get going as using an electric mixer, because it's just a smaller amount. Your arm might fall off.
Oh, it's getting there.
It's getting there. See, it's starting to take some shape and take some body. Now,
Yeah.
believe it or not, if you over whip cream, you end up with butter.
So
Because
you
that's
win
what-
regardless.
You would, yes, but you don't want to put butter on your hot fudge sundae.
No,
Okay, so
no,
now
you
we'll
don't.
put some hot fudge on
Let's
there.
put some hot
All right,
fudge. I
let's
happen to
dollop
have
that
a
up.
spoon right here because now we're going to watch this great ice cream start to melt.
Oh yeah, what a day. We have
Oh,
chicken, we
man.
have scallops, and we have hot fudge sundaes.
All the good stuff.
Hey, it's Valentine's Day in the Massfield studio right now.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Chef Bill.
Thank you.